Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. It's time to do my full review on the LG G10 Smart OLED TV, and this is the 2020 model, so brand new. It comes in 65 inches, which is what I have, but also 55 and 77 inches. The G10 is the gallery design, so it's made to hang on your wall and potentially even look like a piece of art. There's even a gallery mode built in that you can turn on, and it really does look pretty amazing when it's hanging up on the wall, especially because that mount that comes with the TV presses that TV almost completely up against the wall. It looks completely flush, like you did hang a piece of art. Taking a look at that mount, it is very small, doesn't take up a lot of space. However, I did have it professionally mounted. Unless you know what you're doing, I would highly recommend just having a pro come out and doing the installation. A quick note, the G10 does have legs you can buy separately, so you don't have to wall mount it if you don't want to. However, there's also a C10 model you can get, which comes with the legs for the TV. It's also a little bit thicker. It's not that gallery design. The G10 also has better speakers. That is kind of the main differences I noticed between those two models. And with that G10 being an OLED TV, it's pretty incredible, honestly. This is the best TV I have ever used. With that OLED technology, you get perfect blacks because the pixels will turn off in those dark lighting scenarios. The contrast and colors are awesome as well. Even the viewing angles are great. I have a couch next to my TV, and even while sitting watching at an angle, I didn't notice much shift in the colors. You can control and fine-tune settings within the TV, and there's a lot of different presets. You can even manually tune them so you can find what you actually like. And I have to say, thank you for the great recommendations on movies to watch in my unboxing video. I actually did catch a few of them. Aquaman was incredible on this OLED TV with the darker scenes that it had, but also if you watch movies or videos of space in general, it's just crazy how there's just no light emitting out of those pixels at all. And then also one of the times I specifically noticed the OLED really taking control is when I watch some stand-up. I don't watch it all the time, but when I do, I really notice because the comedian has a spotlight on them, and then behind them, it's pretty much pitch black, and it just kind of looks like they're floating on the wall. It really almost makes you feel like you're at that specific performance. Not only watching those videos, but gaming has been great as well. It has G-Sync built in, so if you do want to plug in a desktop with an NVIDIA graphics card, you can go ahead and game with G-Sync. It is also compatible with 4K up to 120 native hertz, which is pretty incredible. And also, when you think about it, future-proofs it for the upcoming next-gen systems, the consoles that are coming out, because those have capabilities up to 4K 120 hertz. There's also a built-in game mode to reduce that input lag, and gaming's been great. I've been playing my Xbox on it quite a bit, and it's nice to be able to play some sports because I can't really watch any right now. And yes, you get the smart TV experience you would expect. It has Wi-Fi built in. You even can plug it in via Ethernet in the back of the TV. But the OS is pretty solid, to be honest. It's easy to use. It pairs well with that Magic Remote. We'll touch on that in just a second. It has just about every TV app you can imagine. It even has AirPlay built in, so if you want to just cast something from your phone, you can do so. One thing I did notice in the home menu is that in the bottom left corner, there was an ad that always popped up, and it really bothered me. I wanted to get rid of it, and I thought I was gonna complain about it in this video, but then I dove into settings and realized there's a way to turn it off. So yes, you can turn off that ad in the bottom left. LG also includes LG channels, where it will take some internet TV channels and throw them on there for free, which is kind of nice. You can go ahead and scroll through and maybe find something you like. You can customize the different shortcuts on your home screen, so don't think you have to have it the way that I do. And yes, there is a gallery mode. So if you do click on it, LG already has some presets built in with different types of artwork. So whatever mood you're in, and also even play some music accompanying it. You can turn that on or off if you don't want it, but it looks insane. It really does look flush with the wall. So it looks like you are hanging up a painting on the wall, and it's really nice because it does cycle through different ones, so you don't just have to stare at the same thing. I wouldn't recommend staring at the same thing because, of course, it is an OLED TV, so you don't have to worry about it staying on one image all the time. It will cycle through and make sure it does keep things different. And speaking of settings and talking about OLED, yes, there is always the possibility that you will get screen burn-in in an OLED TV. I would just kind of do some research before you buy an OLED TV if you don't know about it. I wouldn't really worry about permanent burn-in. It's really difficult to get. Just kind of be conscious about what's on your screen and how long it's sitting there. For example, if you watch the same news channel for 8 hours a day and it has the same logo in the corner, you might start to notice burn-in. And if you do notice burn-in, it will go away over time. But then if you continue to watch the same channel and the same logo is there, it will potentially permanently burn in there. But just be aware of that. If you are watching the same channel for 8 hours a day, maybe don't get an OLED TV. But aside from that, generally, it's not really something you have to worry about. LG's also included some settings to help you with being conscious about saving that OLED TV. It even has some screensavers that pop up if you sit at one screen for too long. So it's really nice that they've added those, some different shifting ones. If it notices a logo, it might shift some of the pixels or just dim that logo specifically. So they do have OLED saving features built in. They also have the new A9 Gen 3 AI processor inside the TV, which really does help with upscaling. If you're watching a 1080p video, it will automatically upscale it to 4K, and it does look really good. There's also AI video and audio, and essentially what it's gonna do is it's gonna recognize what's on your TV and make changes based on what it sees. I didn't really notice a difference between the two. Even after watching the same thing with and without it, it seemed kind of the same to me. And then it does have AI audio, which gives you more of a home theater experience. And I leave that on because I did notice a difference. It's a little bit louder and just sounds a little bit better. Taking a close look at that Magic Remote, it is fairly basic looking in general. It does have some nice shortcuts built into it. You can use it traditionally with a scroll wheel and the D-pad. However, it also has a pointer built in, so you can use it as a pointer. So you just move that scroll wheel, the icon on the screen shows up, and you can move it around with your hand, just gesture with that Magic Remote, which really does help if you're typing out things, maybe a Wi-Fi password, or maybe even you're searching for something. There's a microphone button on that remote, and this TV does have LG's and Google's voice assistants built into it. So if you ask it something maybe related to a TV show or a movie or an actor, LG's gonna respond with that answer. However, if you start asking something like the weather, maybe you're asking about a specific building or something, Google is gonna come back and say, this is our assistant's response to this question. And with that Gen 3 processor, scrolling through the home screen and going in between different apps has been snappy, smooth. I haven't noticed any lag overall. And like I said, with that Magic Remote, it doesn't stutter. It's very responsive. You don't just have to point it at the TV. You can actually have it standing up and use the pointer. You don't have to hold it in a specific direction. When it comes down to it, an OLED TV is a very large investment. However, I think it is totally worth it. The experience you get when watching a lot of entertainment and a bunch of different content, especially now that there's a ton of 4K content out there, has just been really incredible and just another level compared to other TVs. And with the G10 having OLED, again, as long as you are conscious about not having something very static on the screen for a very long period of time, you will be fine about that OLED longevity. I do also really like how they've thought to actually include those gaming features such as the low latency mode, G-Sync built in, and a couple others, simply because it future-proofs it a little more with that 4K 120 Hertz with that HDMI 2.1 on the back. So LG has really thought this G10 through to make it something that will last a good amount of time. So overall, that is my full review on the LG G10 OLED TV. I can highly recommend it. It just is as good as you think it's going to be. So drop a comment, let me know what you think. It looks great on the wall, especially with that gallery view. I really do like that. But anyways, be sure to click that subscribe button. As always, guys, thanks for watching.